In this video, I'm going to be walking you through different methods on how to catch a chicken. And stay tuned till the end because I will show you a method called the boxing method. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Catch a chicken. Sounds simple, doesn't it? It was simple. When I first started with chickens and had a handful of ladies, they all knew me and trusted me, so I could easily scoop them up and do whatever was needed. When I was done, I would plop them down and give them a treat so they would always trust me and come to me. This plan of attack worked well for most of the ladies, but there was always a couple that would give me a run for my money, literally. So let's go through some of the techniques I've learned over the years. Once you know them, you'll make chicken catching look easy. So method number one, catching chickens with a pole. The average human can run at 8.6 miles an hour. Chickens can run at 9 miles an hour. Bear this in mind for what I'm about to say next. This item that I'm talking about is a long pole, usually 4 feet or so in length, with a hook on one end. The theory is that you hook it around the chicken's foot and catch hold of her while she is hobbled. Have you ever used one? Well, I have, and my hat goes off to those who make it look easy. I must have looked like a complete lunatic running around trying to snag a chicken. Fortunately, there was no one around watching at the time. Of course, once the chickens have seen this item in your hand and have stopped snickering behind their wings, none of them will let you approach within 10 yards of them. Who said chickens aren't smart? They remember the previous incident and have learned to avoid that pole. Now, method number two, catching with a fishing net. Now, this one is on par with the catching pole. Once the chickens have seen it in use, they will vanish. The net does work quite well if you can corral them in the run or another contained area. The captured chicken will let you know her displeasure at being caught in such a device. I think you can expect a couple of pecks from her, more from terror than anything else. But once you have her in the net, an old blanket to cover her will calm her somewhat. But she won't forget or forgive this treachery. Some breeders use a net to catch the birds that they want from the pens, and so it becomes a traumatic experience for the birds, an experience they won't forget, and one that will induce panic in the birds as well. Some folks use it to capture those hens who roost in trees at night. The trick is to catch them on the way up the tree rather than climb the tree with a net in hand. Otherwise, the result might take some explanation in the local emergency room. All right, let's get into method 3, trap nesting. A much easier way to snag a hen. You can set up the nest boxes to spring shut once your hen is inside. The apparent drawback is, will you catch the hen you want? Now, if you're trying to see them for dusting or other things, then yeah, it's not really an issue. But if you, however, want one of the older ladies that doesn't lay frequently, if at all, this method is not going to be helpful to you. You should use this method relatively infrequently. You don't want them associating the nesting box with unpleasantness, or they will start laying those cackleberries somewhere else. Method number 4 is called roosting bars. This is by far my favorite way of treating or assessing hens. It is a low-key, non-traumatic way, and you don't have to be a contortionist or Olympic athlete to get your bird. You can quickly assess or treat several birds each night without causing too much grumbling and discontent in the coop. Your tool of choice is a small flashlight that clips to your cap visor or headlamp. Once they are all settled, and you know where the chosen hen is, re-enter the coop, trying to keep the flashlight beam mainly on the ground. You don't want to wake everyone up. When you approach the hen, make small, slow, deliberate movements so as not to alert her to your dishonorable intentions. As you are hovering over her, place both hands over her wings so she can't flap around and gently remove her from the perch. Once outside the coop, you can do whatever is necessary for her and return her back to her spot on the perch. Hopefully, she will think it was just a bad dream. All right, now what I told you I'd get into, the boxing method. But before I get into that, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to our website, thehappychickencoop.com. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. Now, I don't mean with fisticuffs like it sounds. I mean with a simple cardboard box. This method works best if you're trying to catch a chicken in a coop that is too large for you to pick up or too aggressive to handle. I use this when moving an aggressive rooster to a new location. Here's how it works. Number 1, find a box large enough to contain the bird you're trying to catch. Number 2, corner the chicken and gently place the container over it. Carefully flip the box flaps closed underneath the bird so the box is closed and dark. This is a bit awkward to do, but take your time. Slowly turn the box over, carry the bird to its new location, and release it. The darkness of the box calms the bird, and the box protects you from spurring or pecking. Because some of us have small hands, it can be nearly impossible to safely handle a giant rooster. This method Roosting is a safe and gentle way to move your chicken from one location to the other. Now let's get into catching a chicken on the escape. Every once in a while, a hen will decide to go walk about for the day. This sends us into a panicked flurry, especially if the chicken is a rare breed or just simply precious to you. If the bird has been in the housing or coop for a couple weeks at least, the chances are good that she will return by sundown if she's smart. Now, if you have the time and patience and you have worked on building a trust relationship with your birds, you can try sitting in a chair near the coop. Sprinkle some scratch or treats on the ground to entice her. Sometimes this will work and sometimes not, but it's worth trying. Remember, to have a good book with you, hens are never in a hurry. The next option is a bird trap crate. The crate is simply an open mesh cage with scratches or treats left on the floor. You can fix it so that you are a good ways away from it, but the minute she goes in, you pull the string that shuts the door in on her. Again, you can also use the fishing net or pull methods like I went through earlier. If none of these methods work for you, one thing I can recommend is trust. It's vital. If you have a small flock that you have built a trusting relationship with, picking them up individually is by far the best way to go for you and the hen. They will come to look forward to these checks as a time to sit in your lap and enjoy some extra attention and perhaps a treat. If you're going to be doing something a bit unpleasant like worming medicine or dusting or anything else, you might choose to do it in a separate room away from the rest of the flock so that the rest of the birds don't get unsettled. As you know, there will always be one hen who is convinced you will murder her and will run squawking around the barnyard if you come near her. We will deal with her later. If you like this video, please be sure to check out this one over here. That's going to do it for us at the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for listening. If you find our content interesting, if you learned something new, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.